As humanity pushes against the limits of our knowledge, we constantly discover that ostensibly impossible things can be very real. This strange frontier is filled with unsolved mysteries capable of rewriting everything we thought we knew. From organisms that defy biological logic to objects that seem to operate outside the known laws of physics, our world, and beyond, is filled with anomalies that just shouldn't exist. If you're ready to challenge reality itself, stick around as we count down 15 mind-blowing things that shouldn't be alive, but somehow are. Let's start off with number 15, the Devil's Hole pupfish. Deep in the Nevada desert, inside a 10-foot by 20-foot cavern filled with oxygen-starved water, lives a fish that should not exist. The Devil's Hole pupfish has been trapped in this isolated pocket for somewhere between 1,000 and 20,000 years, cut off from all other pupfish species. And yet, despite overwhelming odds, it has survived. The problem? Scientists studying its DNA discovered that 58% of its genome is identical, making it one of the most inbred animals on Earth. In theory, such extreme inbreeding should have led to genetic collapse, infertility, or even total extinction. But the pupfish defies logic. It continues to reproduce, even though it has lost two critical survival genes, one responsible for sperm production and another that helps other pupfish survive in low-oxygen environments. Despite all evolutionary odds, these fish keep going, thriving in conditions that should have wiped them out long ago. So, never lose hope. Number 14. The axolotl. Most animals have a clear life cycle: birth, growth, maturity, reproduction, and eventually, death. But the axolotl never quite gets the memo. This bizarre amphibian stays permanently stuck in its juvenile form, keeping its feathery external gills and playful, baby-like appearance for its entire life. This condition, called neoteny, should be a disadvantage, preventing it from developing the traits needed for survival in adulthood. But instead, it has made the axolotl a biological marvel. Not only does it defy normal development, but it also has an insane ability to regenerate. Unlike other salamanders that can regrow limbs, the axolotl can regenerate entire organs, parts of its brain, and even sections of its heart. Scientists are fascinated by its regenerative abilities, studying it for potential breakthroughs in human medicine. But why does it never transform into an adult? Nobody knows. It remains one of evolution's most adorable mysteries. Number 13. Avocados. Avocados are a staple of modern diets, but they were never supposed to survive this long. Unlike most fruits, which have evolved alongside animals that help spread their seeds, avocados relied on giant prehistoric mammals like mammoths and giant ground sloths to eat them whole and excrete their seeds miles away. This system worked perfectly until 13,000 years ago, when these megafauna went extinct. Logically, that should have been the end of the avocado. With no animals left capable of swallowing and transporting their massive seeds, the trees had no way to naturally reproduce. And yet, they persisted, producing fruit for creatures that no longer exist, as if waiting for their ancient seed dispersers to return. No one fully understands how wild avocados made it past this evolutionary dead end, but they did. Without human intervention, avocados might have vanished forever, making them a bizarre survivor of a bygone era. Number 12. Sturddlefish. Somewhere in a Hungarian lab, scientists accidentally created a fish that wasn't supposed to be possible: the sturddlefish, a hybrid of the Russian sturgeon and the American paddlefish. Before 2020, this fish didn't exist. Researchers were attempting to use a process called gynogenesis to breed Russian sturgeons, a method where an egg is stimulated to develop using sperm, but without inheriting the father's DNA. For reasons still unknown, when they used American paddlefish sperm, the eggs didn't just develop into sturgeons, they combined DNA from both species, creating a brand new hybrid. This was thought to be impossible, as these two fish species split from a common ancestor 184 million years ago. Scientists theorize that since both sturgeons and paddlefish are living fossils with extremely slow evolutionary changes, their genetic structures remained compatible for nearly 200 million years, defying all known biological rules. Number 11. The universe. By all known laws of physics, our universe should not be alive or even exist. According to standard cosmology, the Big Bang should have produced equal amounts of matter and antimatter, two opposites that, when they meet, annihilate each other completely. This means that, theoretically, the universe should have self-destructed the moment it began, leaving behind nothing but energy. Instead, something unknown tipped the balance, allowing more matter to survive, leading to galaxies, stars, planets, and us. In 2017, scientists at CERN conducted the most detailed experiments ever to compare the properties of matter and antimatter, searching for even the smallest difference that could explain why one survived while the other disappeared. But they found nothing. The two were identical in every way. The fact that the universe survived anyway suggests that a fundamental force we have yet to understand intervened, rewriting the rules of existence. In short, everything we know defies explanation. Number 10. The Halotrephis jelly. Deep in the darkness of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, swims a jellyfish that looks like it belongs in a fireworks display. The Halotrephis masi is a deep-sea jellyfish that flashes brilliant shades of purple, orange, and gold when light hits its body. But here's the weird part. There's no natural light that far down. So why would a creature that lives in absolute darkness evolve to reflect light so vividly? Scientists are baffled. Most deep-sea creatures use bioluminescence, generating their own light to attract prey or mates. But the Halotrephis jelly doesn't produce light. It only reflects it. Some speculate that it once lived in shallower waters and retained this trait, despite now living in an environment where it serves no clear purpose. Whether an evolutionary remnant or a complete mystery, this glowing anomaly proves that even in the deep, nature loves to surprise us. And it is just one, the deep sea is filled with plenty of them. Number 9. Dingiso. Hidden deep in the mountainous rainforests of New Guinea, the dingiso, aka Dendrolagus imbiso, is an animal that seems like it was pulled from a fantasy novel. Imagine a tiny black and white kangaroo that lives in trees. That's the dingiso. Unlike its larger Australian relatives, this rare tree-dwelling marsupial has curved nails, padded feet, and a long tail for balance, allowing it to climb effortlessly. On the ground, it moves just like a kangaroo, hopping on its powerful hind legs, making it a bizarre but fascinating mix of familiar traits. The dingiso is sacred to the indigenous Mani people, who believe it to be an ancestor spirit and have traditionally forbidden hunting it. But despite this protection, the species faces serious threats from habitat destruction, illegal hunting, and a low birth rate. With deforestation pushing it further into isolation, the dingiso remains one of the rarest and most mysterious marsupials on the planet. Number 8. Giant squid. For centuries, sailors feared a monstrous sea creature capable of dragging ships beneath the waves, a terrifying beast they called the kraken. Turns out they weren't completely wrong. The giant squid is a real-life leviathan of the deep, growing up to 43 feet long and weighing nearly a ton. This elusive predator has the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, each the size of a dinner plate, allowing it to spot prey even in the pitch-black depths of the ocean. With 8 arms and 2 elongated tentacles lined with sharp-toothed suckers, the giant squid can snatch prey from over 30 feet away. Despite its massive size, it remained a mystery for centuries. No one had ever seen a living one until 2006, when researchers off the coast of Japan captured the first footage of this deep-sea ghost. Even today, much about its life remains unknown, adding to its legendary status. Number 7. Giant oarfish. For thousands of years, terrified sailors reported seeing enormous, slithering sea serpents emerging from the depths. As it turns out, they may have been encountering the giant oarfish, Regalicus glesne, a real-life sea monster that can grow over 50 feet long. This shimmering, ribbon-like fish is the largest bony fish in the ocean, with a sleek silver body and a bright red crest that gives it an otherworldly appearance. Giant oarfish are rarely seen alive because they inhabit deep waters, sometimes as far down as 3,000 feet. They have no teeth and instead filter feed on tiny sea creatures. Scientists believe they only surface when injured or dying, which explains why they have been linked to earthquake folklore. Many cultures believe their rare beachings signal an impending disaster. Even today, no one has seen this creature. Number 6. Golden lion tamarin. With its vivid orange fur and wild mane, the golden lion tamarin looks like it just stepped out of a mythological bestiary. These striking Amazonian primates, which grow to about 9 inches in length, are known for their expressive human-like faces and their almost mystical presence in the rainforest canopy. Golden lion tamarins are highly social and intelligent, spending their lives jumping from tree to tree, hunting insects, fruit, and small animals. What makes them even more fascinating? Both parents take turns carrying their babies, with males often seen toting their young like devoted fathers. Unfortunately, these vibrant creatures are critically endangered, with their population devastated by deforestation and habitat loss. Conservation efforts, including breeding programs and habitat restoration, have helped boost their numbers, but their future remains uncertain. For now, they remain one of nature's most dazzling yet vulnerable treasures. Number 5. The immortal jellyfish. Most living things have a one-way ticket to aging, but not Turritopsis dohornii. This tiny jellyfish, about the size of a pinky nail, found a loophole in biology. When under stress, it doesn't just heal or adapt, it completely resets. Instead of dying, it transforms its adult cells back into their juvenile state, essentially restarting life from scratch. Scientists call this transdifferentiation, but in simpler terms, it's nature's equivalent of pressing restart on a broken game. It's the only known creature that has seemingly cracked biological immortality, dodging death over and over again. If predators or accidents don't get to it first, this jellyfish could theoretically keep regenerating forever. Researchers are still unraveling the secrets of its DNA, hoping it might unlock new possibilities for anti-aging science. But for now, the immortal jellyfish remains an anomaly, one that defies everything we thought we knew about life's natural expiration date. Number 4. The Siberian zombie virus. What happens when a virus gets buried under ice for thousands of years? Turns out, it can wake up just fine. In 2014, scientists unearthed a 30,000-year-old virus from Siberian permafrost, and it was still infectious. Dubbed Pithovirus sibericum, it targeted amoebas, not humans, but the fact that it revived at all was alarming. Since then, even older viruses have been uncovered, including Pandoravirus yedoma, frozen in permafrost for 48,500 years. The big concern? As the Arctic melts, more of these ancient viruses could resurface. Could one of them be deadly to humans or animals? Nobody knows. Scientists are racing to study them, but one thing is clear. Permafrost isn't just a time capsule for fossils. It's also a freezer full of forgotten biological threats, just waiting for the right conditions to wake up. And with rising temperatures, that time might be sooner than we'd like. Just imagine what kind of destruction it can cause. Number 3. The water bear. If there's one creature that could survive the apocalypse, it's the tardigrade, better known as the water bear. Just look at this thing. These microscopic, 8-legged weirdos have survived conditions that would annihilate nearly everything else. Freezing at absolute zero? No problem. Boiled alive? Shrug. Blasted with radiation, crushed under extreme pressure, or even sent into the vacuum of space? They keep going. Their secret weapon is cryptobiosis, a state where they completely dry out, halting their metabolism for decades. Then, with just a few drops of water, they spring back to life like nothing happened. Scientists have even revived tardigrades that had been frozen solid for over 30 years. Their insane durability has made them a subject of intense research, with some even speculating they could be the first organisms to survive on other planets. If life finds a way, tardigrades are living proof that nothing is truly impossible. Number 2. Gobekli Tepe. History books once claimed that large-scale civilization started around 3000 BCE when humans began farming. Then archaeologists found Gobekli Tepe, an ancient site in Turkey that is over 11,000 years old, built before writing, agriculture, or even the wheel. The site consists of massive 16-ton stone pillars, arranged in intricate circular patterns. But here's the real kicker. The people who built it were hunter-gatherers. According to everything we thought we knew, they shouldn't have had the knowledge or manpower to create such an advanced structure. How did they cut, transport, and precisely arrange these stones 6,000 years before the pyramids? What was its purpose? And why was it buried deliberately? Some researchers believe Gobekli Tepe could be the world's first temple, evidence that spiritual or religious beliefs pushed humans toward civilization far earlier than we imagined. Whatever the case, it rewrites our understanding of history. Number 1. The dead that won't stay dead. When something goes extinct, it's supposed to be gone forever, but nature has a habit of proving us wrong. Meet Lazarus species, organisms that were declared extinct, only to turn up alive and well decades, or even centuries later. The most famous case? The coelacanth, a deep-sea fish thought to have vanished 66 million years ago with the dinosaurs. Then, in 1938, a fisherman casually pulled one up off the South African coast. Scientists were baffled. It was like seeing a live T-Rex swim past. Other examples include the La Palma giant lizard, rediscovered in 2007 after being extinct for 500 years, and the Lord Howe Island stick insect, thought to be gone since the 1920s until a tiny population was found clinging to a single bush in 2001. It begs the question, what else is still out there, waiting to surprise us? If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.